guys, it's Riley. Welcome back to another video. It is Tuesday morning right now. It is about 5:30 and I just woke up. And you will notice we are not in our usual location. I'm actually inside a bathroom right now. I know, it's massive. So if you've seen any of my other videos, I know you're probably thinking that is most definitely not your apartment bathroom. And it certainly is not. You would be correct. We are actually staying at Garrett's parents' house for the next week. We were here last week and then we're gonna be here through this current week as well. We are house sitting and we're dog sitting for them while his dad is in Colorado getting surgery. So of course his mom is with him there. And yeah, so we're just taking care of the house, taking care of the dog, and getting to enjoy their home that is a little bit bigger than our tiny apartment. And they actually have a little at-home gym area. They just have some equipment that's set up in their garage. So I want to take full advantage of that this morning. And so I'm going to hurry up, get ready for the day, and we'll regroup when I'm having my morning coffee. I'll get you guys caught up on everything that's been going on with work. I'll see you guys in a little bit. We got our morning coffee. I just put some clothes in the dryer. I completely forgot that the shirt that I was gonna wear was wet. It was in the washing machine, and so I just switched it over to the dryer. So this is not the final look. Clearly, this is not the final look for today. I just need my shirt to hurry up and dry before we go. I have about 20 minutes until I have to leave. So I'm gonna sit down with my morning coffee. And honestly, I just want to relax a little bit this morning. Work has been quite stressful the last week and yesterday as well. Today's Tuesday. So yesterday on Monday and then this past week has been very nuts. So I really just want to sit down for a couple minutes and enjoy my coffee before I have to change again and head out for the day. But I will catch you guys up on everything on our little drive in the car. I do have a little bit of a longer drive today just because I'm coming from Garrett's parents' house to go to work. They live a little bit more north Sarasota than where our apartment is. So it adds like a good 20 minutes to my drive. So we will have plenty of time to chit chat and I will get you all caught up on everything. And I'm late. Why am I always late? You guys are gonna get so sick of hearing me say how late I am every day. Okay, so I'm supposed to get to the office at like 7:51, but traffic is always so bad turning out of Garrett's parents' house. You can't turn left because traffic blocks the intersection trying to get out. So I'm pulling out of their neighborhood right now and I'm gonna have to turn right and then flip around. Traffic here is so bad. It is literally a nightmare. It is my least favorite thing about living in Sarasota and just Florida in general. I'm sure it's probably bad everywhere. And I know there are places that are worse than Florida for traffic, but it is something else. But on a positive note, my shirt actually did dry in time, so that's great. I wish I could flip you guys around and show you that the traffic, they don't care. People are so rude. They just block the intersection and just don't let you out. So I'm literally turning right just so I can flip around. I wanted to catch you guys up on work a little bit. It has been very busy, and I know I always say that, but just for more background, my audit is coming up. Our audit is coming up for the company, and so I was preparing for that. you guys didn't miss too much. I just didn't film last week because it was so busy. So I was getting to the office at like 7:30, 7:45 like I usually do. And then a few days last week, I stayed until like 8:30. One night I was there until 8:30 all by myself. And then I was there until like 7. And then on Friday, I didn't leave until like 6:30, which obviously is late for a Friday. I try and leave at 5 on Fridays, but that has not happened the past few weeks. But we have our audit coming up. So our auditors are going to be here. They're going to be in our office next week. So right now it's Tuesday. So this coming up Monday, after this week, they will be here. And so we've just been trying to get everything ready. I was talking to you guys in some other videos about trying to get fixed assets ready, get it up to date, and I did. So that was good. It just took me staying late a few nights to finish everything. It's just tough because like I don't have time to work on the audit during the day because I get stuck in a lot of these like day-to-day tasks that, you know, hopefully I hope we can hire another staff accountant for, so that, you know, I don't have to be so involved in the day-to-day stuff like creating and sending out invoices. That typically is not the role of an assistant controller. I know a lot of these videos I talk about like, what does an assistant controller do? That's my job title. I don't even know if I've said that this video yet, but I'm an assistant controller. And so that usually wouldn't fall under my job responsibilities, things like creating and sending out invoices, and that is a big part of what I do. So, and I've had conversations before with management, and they know that they're gonna have to hire somebody else, especially with how busy we've been and how fast that the company has grown. I work for a restoration company, so during hurricane season, we are exceptionally busy. We help clean up and rebuild after these large storms come through. So obviously we were quite busy this past year with Hurricane Debbie, Hurricane Helene, and Hurricane Milton all impacted the Sarasota, Bradenton, Fort Myers area very heavily. We actually have some jobs that are still open from Hurricane Ian, which was 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago at this point. Obviously, these are very large jobs. They take a long time to finish. So our workload is only increasing every hurricane season, which is great. The company's growing very fast. But again, I think at some point we are just gonna have to hire more people because creating and sending out invoices isn't a typical task of an assistant controller, even though it is something that I talk a lot about in my videos. So for example, yesterday is the perfect example of why I did not film yesterday, because I spent the entire day creating and sending out invoices. Our condo team, so our team that coordinates, they schedule, they get everything aligned for our workers to go out and do emergency services. They'll do mitigation, they will do mold remediation, they'll do all kinds of repairs for these condo associations. They fell a little bit behind just because it's been very busy, nobody's fault. But our condo team got pretty far behind on invoicing. I got a ton of invoice requests over the weekend that came through. Of course, I didn't see them until I got to work yesterday. And I got a message from our controller like, hey, just a heads up, our mitigation manager worked very hard over the weekend to try and get all these invoices sent out. So that's what I had to work on the entire day yesterday. Genuinely, it took me the entire day. I think I created and sent out probably close to 40 to 50 invoices for this team. That is a lot. In a normal day, I probably get like 10, if that. So I usually have a lot of time to focus on other things. But of course, yesterday I was like, I'm not gonna have you guys just sit here. The whole video would have just been me saying, oh, I'm creating and sending out invoices. That's not fun. That's not interesting. I'm not sure what my inbox for invoices is going to look like when I log on this morning. I'm not sure if they were working late last night. I'm sure it'll take up a good portion of my day, at least until our condo team gets caught up on all of their invoicing for their jobs. So I will certainly keep you guys posted on that. And I do want to reach out to our controller and just see if there is anything else that I can assist with before the auditors come. There's a lot that we can send them ahead of time. So we don't have to do it all while they're physically in the office. Like there's a lot that they can do remotely, if that makes sense. Like we have a portal where they send us all of their requests for what they need from us in order to perform the audit. And then we can provide them pretty much everything before they even get there. And then there are a couple things that they have to do in person, mostly like writing narratives or doing internal controls, things like that, just asking in-person questions. I'm hoping we can get through that this week. I don't know though, so that's why I need to reach out to the controller. I finished everything that he asked me to do, so I got through fixed assets. That included doing a fixed asset listing. I had to do a fixed asset roll forward. I had to make sure all of our additions and disposals were up to date. I also had to update depreciation. I had to book our year-end depreciation journal entry. I had to book a few journal entries for fixed assets actually, and just making sure that what we have in our GL in the general ledger matches what we have in our fixed asset software, because we actually have a separate system, a separate software from our regular financial accounting software. They're just two different things, so we have to make sure that fixed assets are recorded in two different places and make sure that they tie out. And we also got an inventory listing from our warehouse. The guys in our warehouse have recently started tracking our equipment. So they recently bought like a tracking system. So they have little trackers on each piece of our equipment so we could tell what we still have. We had some really old pieces of equipment that were still in our fixed assets. And of course, we probably didn't have those anymore. They were way beyond the useful life and there was just no way that we still had those. So I did have to write off a ton of assets. I had to record the gain or loss on our disposals. So there's a lot of things that actually go into fixed assets. I was also able to upload our bank statements and our bank reconciliations for our auditors, which that was very simple. Our controller actually does the bank reconciliations for our main company. I do the bank reconciliations for our two sister companies. So it's 3 companies in total that are kind of lumped in together under one umbrella. So me and the controller, we tackle those bank recs together. He does the hard one, which is our main company. And then I do the 2 smaller companies. But I was able to get those uploaded. So I'm kind of at a standstill right now for the audit. So depending on what today looks like, I'm not sure how much time the invoicing will take up out of my day. Any extra time I have, I need to work on liens. So either recording liens for our teams or releasing liens for customers who have paid, or doing a partial release for customers who have made partial payments. So I have a few of those that I need to get done as well. But right now I am going to focus on my drive into work for the rest of my drive there. I have about another 15 minutes until I'm at the office. So I'm gonna listen to some music and I will touch base with you guys once I get to the office. And we made it to the office, quite literally just in time. I logged on at 7:58, which is a bit late for me, but that's okay. The first thing I always do in the mornings is check my regular work email. And once I get through those emails, I check our invoices email. Right off the bat, I had 8 invoice requests and 2 credit memo requests. I start by creating the invoice in our internal accounting software, and then I create and send the invoice through QuickBooks for our customers to pay. I also noticed one of the credit memo requests that came through was for a job that we had filed a lien on. So I applied the credit memo, resent the invoice, and then I had to draft and submit a partial lien release to Sarasota County. We file our liens and releases online, and Sarasota County is typically very quick, and the liens and releases can be expected to be recorded by the county in the same day. For this partial release, I had to draft the release, print it, sign it, get it notarized. We do have a few notaries in the office, which is helpful, and then scan the notarized copy, upload it, and submit it to the county. After going through the credit memo and the partial release, I went through the rest of the lien updates I need to get done this week. Our accounting assistant checks every week the payments we've received and sends me a list of liens that need a full release if the job was paid in full, or a partial release if the customer made a partial payment. I had a bunch to get submitted today. I had 8 in total, so that took up a majority of my morning. I also had a long phone call with our controller this morning regarding one of our large loss jobs. Our large loss jobs are related to Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. They are mostly for damage that was caused to condo associations along the Gulf Coast in areas like Siesta Key, Longboat Key, Anna Maria, and the Bradenton area. The controller called to review some changes and updates being made to one of these jobs and wanted to ensure that we invoice the job out correctly. Okay, you guys, we made it to lunch. This morning really was not too bad. It hasn't been super busy yet. And I did speak to the controller a little bit about the audit. And as of right now, I don't think there's anything additional I can work on. The auditors haven't requested anything additional. And our controller, he's still working on our financial statements. But a lot of that has to do with other people. It has to do with our general manager, our team coordinators, all of that good stuff in order to make sure that our jobs are up to date and making sure that costs are entered properly for 2024. They're on the correct jobs, our labor hours, everything like that, just to make sure that we are recognizing revenue correctly. So a lot of it isn't really on accounting right now. It's kind of on other people, which is kind of nice. It makes for an easy day today and maybe an easy rest of the week. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. But it's going to make for a very busy week, most likely next week, once our auditors are here, because at some point we're going to have to give them the information that they're requesting. I also submitted everything for fixed assets, and I'm really surprised that our auditors haven't requested their sample selections yet, because I have all the invoices set aside. I have all the invoices for 2024 that we added to fixed assets. So once they do their sample selections and they let us know which assets they're testing, I will be able to provide them the invoices, but I'm still just waiting, which again is okay with me. I'll be ready when the time comes. And for lunch right now, I'm just running out. I need either an energy drink or a coffee or something, because I genuinely feel like I am dying right now. I'm falling asleep. I was literally just sitting at my desk and I felt my eyes starting to close, which is not okay. And it's just weird because that hasn't happened to me in so long because I've been so busy. But man, I don't know, today is slow. It's been a very slow Tuesday, so I'm just pulling into the gas station now. Good old 7-Eleven. Okay, I think I'm going for a Red Bull. That's what I'm craving right now. A Red Bull and maybe a little snack, because my special K-bar and my rice crackers are not cutting it today. I'm starving. Okay, let's see what we can find. Okay, we got the goods. I got my Red Bull and I got these Quest chips. Quest like protein bars. I guess they make chips. They kind of just look like Sun Chips. They're like cheese flavored tortilla chips, they say, but they sound really good and they don't look too disgusting and they look somewhat healthy compared to like Doritos or something. So we'll get those a try. Oh my goodness, I just say a prayer that these revive me for this afternoon. It's just a really weird feeling because I haven't been tired at work in so long, because I'm usually just so stressed out that I'm not tired. I'm usually like very anxious. But hey, I will take it. I will take one slow day in the span of like 5 months for being a little tired, you know? But I am all caught up on invoice requests. So when I get back to the office, I think I need to I know I need to deposit checks. So I think that's going to be the first thing that I do when I get back to the office. So I'll get our checks deposited, and then after that, I will check our online e-docs that we use, see what liens have been recorded, and if any of those can be sent out, and I will keep you guys posted with this afternoon. I am just pulling back into the office now. I feel like this is always the hardest part of the day, is stepping out for lunch, because most of the time I don't take a lunch. I usually am just too busy and I just sit in the office and eat. But today, that is not the case. I actually had time to step out for a second, but like once you leave the office, you know, you don't want to go back, but that's okay. I'm just stalling now. I just pulled in. So we're here. I'm going to go back inside and I will keep you guys posted with how the rest of the afternoon goes. After lunch, I worked on checks. I scanned our checks, I posted them to our jobs, and I posted them in QuickBooks, endorsed them, and then I deposited them into our bank account. There weren't too many today, which I was happy about because sometimes checks can be a very time-consuming process, especially when there are a lot of them, and that's just because there are so many steps. Next, I had to hurry up and submit another lien release. A property manager reached out because the unit owners at an association thought the lien was not released from their property because the release did not list out each unit owner's address. I resubmitted a second lien release with the names and addresses of each unit owner at the association so that it will be reflected if somebody does a property search on any one of the individual units at this association. After that, I worked on adding in PC dates. PC dates are our production close dates. These dates get added before we close out our jobs. My job is to check that the estimated revenue matches the invoiced amount and the payments that we've received. I also have to check the gross margin percentage and ensure that the team has closed all work orders. Once I add in the production close date, it signals our controller to accounting close or close out the job for the month. The end of the day honestly was a little bit slow, but with how busy it's been recently, I'm not complaining. I wrapped up the day by going through the invoices inbox one last time and creating and sending out final invoices for the day. And that is a wrap on this Tuesday. Hi guys, I realized I never closed out yesterday's video. I am so sorry. I had every intention on talking to you guys on my drive home from work yesterday, but traffic was so bad. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get home last night. So it was awful. Just for comparison, usually to get from my work to Gary's parents' house where we've been staying, it takes like 30 to 35 minutes. And it took me like an hour and 15 minutes last night because traffic was just at a complete standstill and I was not in a good mood, so I didn't want to come on video like that. But of course, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for more Florida content, more workday in my life content, and I will see you guys in the next one.